am so excited to share a spiritual gift that I found inside of my client's Akashic records, and I want to share it with you in case it unlocks and activates something within your templates as well. When I went into her field, I was taken to a river and it had a lot of rocks in it, and the river was representative of her Akashic records. It looks different for everybody, and it can look different upon the context of what you're perceiving it as well. It can ebb and flow, which is funny with the river reference, but in this context, it was a river and all of the rocks represented her different incarnations. And so I picked one up and looked at it, and her higher self told me that she is incredibly clairsentient. This is the psychic sense of feeling, of sensations. Then I was shown a Olympic torch, and the reference was because her higher self was trying to get me to see Greece. And then all of a sudden we were on Mount Olympus, and Demeter came forward, and she had worked with Demeter in the past, different incarnation, and she told me that she was a watcher, a purveyor, and a caretaker. And I said, oh, that's amazing. I said, can I actually talk to the different incarnation? And she said yes. And then she came forward and she said, I have my notes here, she said she needs to listen to the tones of the earth. Everywhere you step, there is a different vibrational resonance, and she is able to read through the layers of the earth. I said, oh, what does that mean? So basically, when I am reading people's Akashic records, it works in a layeral system. There's you in the present, you in the future, then you have your younger versions, your teenagers, your inner children, and then we are able to get into the different incarnations that are a vaster existence of your multidimensionality. And so her higher self was saying that she could stand in different places on earth and read the layers down throughout history. And so a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, all of the plants, animals, people, building, anything that has been in that one space that she is standing, kind of like a pillar of knowledge that runs to the crystalline core, and that she is able to read the different frequencies and the information coming forward from the pillars. And this is a gift that I have not seen before. I'm very excited to talk about it. So, excuse my rudimentary drawing. Let's envision that this is her. If she walks over to this space, there is a 3-foot radius around her, which she is able to create that pillar to the crystalline core. Then she can walk over another 3 feet and another 3 feet and another 3 feet and do the same thing, getting different information. And if she were to do that in a complete circle like this around her, then she can actually link them all together and create sacred geometry, which more in particular a Merkaba, but many different types of sacred geometry. That's just one, but most everybody knows what a Merkaba is. And I don't know if you've ever seen those giant balls that people can get in. They look like human-sized hamster balls, and people can run across the water on them. She can actually lift that sacred geometry up out of the ground by pulling the energy of all of these layers of history, create a 3D sacred geometry around her. And when people come into her field, just walking near her, we have all soul contracted to work with and help certain people during this incarnation, whether you're consciously aware or not. It's already been soul aligned. And so everyone who comes in contact with her that has given permission to her higher self for these upgrades and activations will receive them. So in the hamster ball, in the sacred geometry, I saw tons of data that was running through it, kind of like in the Matrix where you see all of it coming down really quickly. And what all of those data points are doing are linking with the other person's DNA. And I was having a conversation with another energy healer the other day, and we were saying that oftentimes people have a difficult time pulling down esoteric knowledge and wisdom and these higher planes of existence because their DNA is not in congruence with the New Earth paradigm, because they're still working through trauma and PTSD or self-limiting beliefs, false illusions, not just from this incarnation, but other incarnations, or when they're younger, it creates all these filters and they're not able to receive at their full totality these things that are multidimensionally expansive. And so my client with this hamster wheel of knowledge is able to link in with their DNA and upgrade and activate it to a point where they are getting blasted with all of this information about Earth's history from being pulled up and creating this vortex. And very quickly they are given all these data points that show them all of the things that are not in congruence with the New Earth paradigm, whether that's beliefs, PTSD, trauma, behavioral patterns, you know, all these things that we need to shed in order to ascend. And so they are able to work through these things at an accelerated pace because now their DNA is primed for that. And it's not only negative things that are be carrying in her field, it's also all of these wonderful, positive, amazing things that have happened throughout Earth's history that they are learning from as well. And the really cool thing is, once she gets deeper into this gift, she is going to be able to astral project to different planetary systems and do the exact same system with different beings throughout the cosmos. So let's say that she goes to Venus. She can walk around and create these pillars, pull up that sacred geometry, encode the data points, walk around with the Venusians, and be able to give them upgrades and activations as well. Oftentimes when we're getting these really expansatory gifts, it's like, how the heck do I even do this? And I told her, we're not going to overanalyze or overthink it. It's one step at a time. Something that would be beneficial is literally going outside, envisioning that 3-foot parameter around you, getting out a piece of paper and a pen, asking Mother Gaia to help guide you, and just seeing what comes through from the history of that pillar, whether it's people, places, events, animals that have been there, and then move to another section, and then another section, and then another section. And once you have created this full circle, you can simply envision sacred geometry and imagine pulling it up from the earth over you and creating that data vortex and linking all of the information together. It simply starts with you sitting in one space and channeling and then going to another space. It doesn't always have to be outside, because technically if you're in your apartment or your home, you can still create a pillar that goes all the way down because the house or the apartment hasn't been there forever. You can even astral project into different times and spaces throughout history into this. It doesn't even have to be here in this one currently. It could be in the 1800s, it could be in the 3000s, and also be doing this. Her higher self said because clairsentience is such a prevalent gift for her, working near water is going to be a great amplifier, working with trees and in the vicinity of mountains. Learning about the Akashic records, because this is a type of Akashic work of being able to read timelines, and also with your Earth Star chakra that is located a foot underneath your feet and connects you to the crystalline core and the heart of Mother Gaia and helps you connect in to your soul mission, why you decided to incarnate here during this time. And obviously she had worked with Demeter in the past, who was bringing this gift up in the first place, and this other incarnation of hers, and so connecting with them and asking for tutelage would also be very beneficial. And so I would love to hear in the comments if this resonated with you as well, if it helped activate and open up your perceptual awareness. And I hope you have a super magical day.